Alright, we have a new chapter of Kurosawa. We have a battle arc coming up for the first time in a long time. Kurosawa is being called on to fight somebody. Somebody who, is actually professionally trained to fight in order to restore the reputation and dignity of this adorable college girl's father. That being the main reason that he agreed to it. It was the adorableness of the daughter. I suppose Kurosawa has battled such overwhelming odds before and came out on top. So it's not unreasonable to think that he might be able to beat a martial artist in hand-to-hand combat if he has enough tricks up his sleeve. So let's see. You're the right man for this retaliation. When I saw Misaki's sketchbook, a lightning bolt went off in me. This man can beat up that man. That's the face. I'm going to get my revenge with this face. Okay, I don't really understand this. It's too damn tough in looks. But is a face really that important for taking revenge? I'm telling you, it's incredibly vital. So amid some intensity in your face, this vengeance wouldn't be possible in the first place. If you had a weaker face, it wouldn't do any good against Ko Inosuke's camp. Huh? Therefore you can handle that part. What does this mean? Is it the intimidation factor? It seems more nuanced than that, more philosophical even. Is it because Ko Inosuke is handsome, Bishonen type? Which is why, of course, they tried to rig it so that he would win and attract a lot of people to their school. And so having a big uggo, no offense, like Kurosawa, taking down the beautiful boy would be some major symbolic victory that would make them rethink. I don't know, but it's not like they actually think that beauty is power or anything. They just were trying to fake it such that people would want to come in and see the handsome winning boy. You need to chill out. Just leaving the finals aside, this Konosuke you're talking about, that man might just be the best one in the country. Ah. Wait. Oh, so Kurosawa is actually entering the tournament? I thought he was just going to go beat the guy up on the street like he normally does. Kurosawa is going to enter a martial arts tournament. Okay. Sure. The 2 rounds before the finals, there's no telling if he's really as skillful as he is during the actual finals. Yeah, the school is very corrupt. This is all just super rigged. Ridiculous. What should be doing right now is not to vent your petty resentments, but to reform the school itself, isn't it? Okay, I mean, this is all true. And this is, of course, wonderfully in Kurosawa's character that he's calling this stuff out as he sees it. He has no tolerance, no tact for this sort of shadiness. But instead says straight up, this is not supposed to be your priority. This is just symptomatic of a major problem you have at your school. You gotta shut up Koinosuke first. Maybe that's fair. You go then, you just have to try again. Yeah, like, he only lost because he offered Koinosuke. There was supposed to be a big dramatic back and forth, right? So he gave Koinosuke an opportunity to appear to take the upper hand briefly, and Koinosuke instead just, flopped him, laid him out, won decisively. Just have to try again. Once your wounds have healed, just cautiously aim for a time when only Konosuke is around and have a duel. That should solve all your problems. Nothing more than to do that, but just think it through. If I go and do it, then surely they could tell who instigated it, couldn't they? After I do it, his fierce students are just going to beat me up again. Just kind of unproductive. Just doesn't have the guts. I don't know. I think he has a fair point. They already got retaliation once. They already jumped him and beat him up over a perceived insult. If he actually beats up Koinosuke, it's going to be even worse. But again, it's very much like Kurosawa to be like, y'all scared. Stop acting like you have some moral ground or some logical basis to what you're doing. Y'all just scared. Kurosawa. The strongest man. In your case, the opponent has no idea who or what you're all about, so there's no issue. There is an issue here. Don't you see I have no martial arts skills, you know. Okay, that's a fair point. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. I just keep yawning. I have caught the yawns. Sorry for not clearing it up for you. Master Kurosawa, you don't have to fight. Okay. I'm confused. Don't have to fight. Then what is it? I don't get it. I won't fight. He's an impudent and gutless young man. Clearly don't have the guts for it either. But he's still an instructor. He knows the techniques. Fighting with is a bit of a hassle. I'm not asking you to fight. It's not really a fight. I don't understand at all. How will Kurosawa win the tournament without fighting? It's a fighting tournament? The Kurosawa face on this panel is pretty good too. Just the perplexed Kurosawa look. It's very ugly. It's a martial arts event held by Konosuke and his students. I want you to be a last-minute entrant for it. This dojo has been getting more and more students in recent years, largely because of the martial arts event. So it's a form of demonstration for recruiting prospective students, a type of performance. And that's the key. The martial art Konosuke specializes in is stopping a sword stroke between his bare hands. Okay. Okay. So, this is maybe something that's demonstrated, but it's rigged. It's actually the sword swinger who stops the blade at the agreed upon spot where Koinosuke claps. Koinosuke is not really doing anything. He's just clapped on a sword that has already stopped just by the stopping of the arms. Maybe. By the way, amazingly paneled, amazingly dramatic shots here. This is a little outside of the typical Fukumoto mode, I think. The cinematicness of these panels. But it's really well done. You really feel like a movie vibe coming out of, the shot of them totally flat, the shot of the onlookers' reactions. Then first behind Koinosuke, then looking at Koinosuke, then zooming in on his face. The sword swings down. Oh, this is so good. The crowd gasps. Some of them can't even look. Others wincing in anticipation. And then... the sword is stopped. He twists his hands as the follow-up move. The guy stumbles. He kicks them. Knocks them down. Koinosuke, so cool. So what the heck is her dad proposing? The Kurosawa just goes in there, does not listen to the instructions of stopping the sword at the right time, and just slices up Koinosuke's pretty little face? I still don't get it. Everyone cheers, of course. Still doing that kind of thing. Do you have permission from the police to swing a sword over someone's head? Special demonstration held in confidentiality and secret. Wow. Gag order issued to every visitor. Crazy, but sure. I'm sure that's a very effective recruiting technique. It's almost cult-like. That they make you feel like you've witnessed something really special, really sacred. And that just by being there, you're special. You're part of this new elite. That other people won't be able to ever relate to this experience you've just had. And from there, if you really convince someone of that, they're putty in your hands. In the end, Koinosuke really is a master. Really not. Swords aren't real, for one thing. Students that strike them are accomplices as well. Sword of the Lord, yeah. You pause. You stop. Then you clap. Traps, twists, and kicks. The whole thing is just a show. Alright, so how are they going to expose Koinosuke? No one would have any trust for how the students swung that sword, would they? Therefore, after the performance is over, never be able to pull off something like that. This is legit. Let me do it too. He calls a rude onlooker and does it again. Aha, aha. But the Rude Onlooker, of course, is also in on it. Just the stage plant. Easy peasy. Okay, so I guess the plan is then to have Kurosawa, when the Rude Onlooker role comes up, Kurosawa will somehow bully and barge his way to taking over. And that's why it matters that he has the face. He has the face of a rude onlooker. He has the face of a total miscreant, someone who's going to stir up trouble. So that it's not at all surprising when he demands that he be the one to attempt it again. Crab believes that this might just be legit. Yeah, he's got a routine down. Koinosuke. Maybe not a genius martial artist, but a genius marketer. The man who selects people for this scam is Koinosuke's chief of staff. Effectively runs the faction. His name is Kanbayashi. Look at the man he's been using for his scams. So they are actually just a member of the crowd. It's just that they've been contacted, maybe bribed, made to understand how this is going to go down. And, promised to go along with the play. So it's not even that Kurosawa is going to be like, hey, what are you talking about? Let me do it. I'll do it instead. Shove the guy out of the way. But they're actually going to call upon Kurosawa to play this role. And that's why the face makes sense. They look rough and violent. Look at these guys. Look at these Fukumoto gallery of rogues. Oh, I love them so much. You think they've killed a few people before. Whew. Jeez, look at this guy getting bricked. This is Crazy Cat. Definitely a gem of a man who can win Kabayashi's favor. Yeah, this is like so insulting to Kurosawa on so many levels. In the end, like, it's not just that, oh, it's lucky that he's ugly. That'll help. Excuse me, but he's being asked to do this in the first place at all, entirely because he is ugly. I mean, it's talking about adding insult to injury. All right, so they're assuming a grand performance to celebrate the national championship. If you go to the dojo, take a peek at the performance, you'll catch Kanbayashi's attention. When you leave, he'll approach him yourself. Pull off this scam with us. You practice the sword swing. And then the plan is, I think, of course, to just bash Kobayashi in over the head. Because then people will be like, oh, the sword is fake. You can't actually stop it. La-di-da-di-da. Maybe Kobayashi gets a bad headache. That's just the bonus. And it's all gravy for Dojo Man. 2-3 hours, you'll get it down. The most important thing is not to swing your sword below the top of Koinosuke's head. Practice not swinging your sword down. Day of the show is plotted. Disguise as a rune onlooker. Barge into the show. Ignore the timing. Just bash him. Bash him good. Look at this shot of Kurosawa bashing him good. Alright, so this is interesting. We've laid out the entire plan in quite a lot of detail. And if you've watched my Fukumoto videos before, you know that I can ruin every Fukumoto plot with one weird trick. If you see the plot, if the plot is described to you, the plan, the scheme of the characters, it won't happen. If they whisper it to each other, if they come up with it off screen, if all you see is them going, I got it, then it will happen. So obviously things aren't going to go this smoothly. What is going to happen instead? I think Kurosawa could have like a change of heart when he meets Koinosuke. Because Fukumoto likes to write nuanced characters. He doesn't like to have too many characters that are just straight up villainous. Like there's Chairman Hyodo, and that's really about it. Everybody else has some kind of sympathetic element to them, some motivation that's relatable, that's understandable. So we're only seeing one side of the story right now. It could be that this is much more nuanced than this guy's letting on. It could just be that like lots of silly things happen. There's a million silly things that could go wrong. Kurosawa isn't scouted out to play this role, and so he has to come back and look even more violent and intimidating. I don't know. Maybe Koinosuke in the end does stop the sword. It's very unclear where along the plan things are going to change, things are going to fail. I don't know. I think it's more exciting like if they really show you what everything is the intent of everything, what everything ought to look like. And then we have such high anticipation for each step. Ooh, is this where things are going to go wrong? Ooh. I don't know. Let's see. Hit Koinosuke right on the head. Then I can be avenged. I'll be embarrassed in front of everyone. His power, dignity, and charisma will all be lost. From their perspective, he'll be a huge traitor. But odds inevitably, this is a serious sword-stopping match, so it'll be hard for them to do anything. Yeah, that's true. Neither him nor his students can condemn you, much less surround and assault you. Just comfortably walk from that place. I don't know about that. I kind of want to see Kurosawa fight somebody. I thought that's what was going down here, not just ruin some magic trick sort of thing. But I could see this being where things go wrong too. That the school, seeing that they've kind of lost the dignity of their leader, just loses all of the dignity and decides to mob Kurosawa. If you leave them, the opponents don't know who or what you are. They can't look for you. They can't try to get revenge either. So this is being a little more, I guess, understanding and sympathetic of Kurosawa's situation. He's kind of this like non-human. He lives under the bridge with a bunch of other scuffy old dudes. And maybe that factored into their plan of getting Kurosawa specifically, knowing that he's very, very unlikely to face later repercussion because he just isn't findable. He just isn't part of society that you can look for him. But again, it's in a very, very insulting way. The reasons that you are the ideal candidate for this job are that you are ugly as sin and that you are a non-human bum. How do you like this perfect plan? Sword may be fake, but it's a metal rod nonetheless. You don't have a full-on blade, but it's sharp in its own way. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. To say, oh, it's a fake sword. It's just a metal rod that looks like a sword. If it looks like a sword and it's made out of metal, how is that not like functionally a sword? Right? Like all that the sword does is you swing with it and it cuts. It cuts because of its hardness and its shape. Right? The shape is the sharpness. So is it not just the sword? If I hit him with that thing, he won't die, will he? Pronto will take the blows, the hardest part of the skull. It's the frontal bone, so I do think he will be okay. You think? Kurosawa does not want to kill a stranger today. Even if it looks like he has killed many men before, he does not want that to become the truth. If you do knock him unconscious, that'll be the cue for you to run away from there. Especially since that would put you in a tight spot. Oh my gosh, I don't want to ruin my life like that. He told me another thing that's another thing you're great at. Life is already ruined enough as is. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying, right? Kurosawa is ideal because his life is already ruined and he's so bloody ugly. Kurosawa. Good shot. Flips upside down. Great classic gag comedy. Oh man. Father, what are you saying? I didn't say that. He's not ruining his life. What I did say is no matter how unreasonable, he will listen to your request. After all, he has nothing left to lose now. That's what I said. That's no different from what your father said. She put it in a much more powerful, positive tone, I guess. Ooh, he has nothing left to lose. A man on the edge. Who knows his power? But in the end, it still means, yeah, you know, he's at rock bottom. Nothing bad can happen. All right, so we'll see. I feel like Kurosawa is going to end up taking the request because, you know, that's just how the plot looks like it'll progress. It seems silly to build all of this up and then the guy just walks away and they move on to something else. But they're going to have to do a much better job convincing him than this, to just assault a stranger. What's in it for him? Money? Food? Date with Misaki? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in the next chapter, which will probably come out before too long, because I know we're well behind on volumes. On the Manga Dex page, it shows that there is volume 17, which is like we're not even halfway there. So it's just up to the Scanlation team, Endless Moment, doing a fantastic job getting us caught up again on this, and the rate that they feel they can put it out. So good luck to them. Can't wait to read more. All right, bye-bye.